All right, class, this video is for chapter 3. So go ahead and open up your chapter 3 slides. And I want you to skip down. We've already done the adjusting entries. We've done the trial balance. We've done, what else? We did depreciation. We are going down to slide number 33. Actually, go to slide 31. All right. So hopefully give you guys another second. Open up chapter 3, PowerPoint slides. I want you to go down to slide 31, down towards the bottom. And I want to start there. So now after we've done our T accounts and our adjusted trial balance, we get to the very end. One thing that you have to make sure, and if you slip down to slide 32, you'll see that at the end, after we've done our adjusting entries and everything, that our adjusted trial balance, which is done at the very end, still matches down at the bottom. We still have a total in this example on slide 32 of $87,800. Both your debits and credits, again, have to equal. The next step is to do what we call our closing entries. Our closing entries are things that are done at the end of the year to clear out some of the accounts. Now, there's two types of accounts that you have to understand what's going on here. The closing entries are done at the end, and certain accounts are restarted at the end of the year, and some accounts keep going at the end of the year. And what I mean by that is if you go to slide 33, you'll see that there are two types of accounts. And on the left-hand side, you'll see what we have are things called permanent accounts, meaning that they do not go back to zero at the beginning of the new year. And then we have what we call temporary accounts, which get zeroed out and cleared off at the end of the year. Now, it is imperative that you know the difference between which ones are permanent and which ones are temporary. And the easiest way for me to teach you how to do this is the only permanent accounts that we have, meaning the only accounts that do not get zeroed out at the end of the year, are the accounts that are on your balance sheet. Now, take a minute and think, which accounts are on my balance sheet? With that being said, you should know that the assets, liabilities, and stockholders' equity accounts are all the accounts that are on your balance sheet. Now, the reason they are permanent accounts and they don't get zeroed out at the end of the year is, let's take cash, for example. If you go to bed on New Year's Eve with $1,000, you should wake up the new year, or January 1st, you should still have that $1,000 in your pocket, okay? It didn't close. It didn't become a zero account because the new year started, okay? You still had $1,000, all right? If you went to bed New Year's Eve owing somebody $200, and unless they took the money out of your pocket overnight, you should wake up the new year owing that person the same $200. So permanent accounts do not get closed, okay? The balances stay from year to year. Now, the balances may change from year to year, but they do not get zeroed out, okay? They don't get closed or zeroed out at the end of the year. Now, temporary accounts are a little bit different. Temporary accounts are everything under your ALSDRE, meaning skip over the ALS because those are what's on your balance sheet, and go down to the DRE, the DRE, the dividends, the revenue, and expenses. All of those types of accounts are what we call temporary accounts. Those are the accounts that get changed or closed, and they get closed out to zero at the end of the year. So take a look at slide 34 now. So slide 34, it says, what does a closing in an account mean? Okay. Some accounts, revenue, expenses, and dividends, or DREs, accumulate data just for that year. So at the end of the year, the balances in the accounts must get transferred out so that these accounts start every year with a fresh zero balance. Okay. Now there's 4 easy steps on the way that we're going to do that. And those 4 steps are written on slide 35. Now, when it comes to closing entries, I'm going to introduce to you a new account. And that account, and please do not get yourself confused when you do this. Do not get the income statement, which is a financial statement, confused with this new account, which is called income summary. Okay. Income summary is a new account. It is solely used during the closing process. Okay. You do not use it any other time. And just as a quick caveat to this, again, closing entries remind me of adjusting entries when I went to college. I learned them in college. I learned them in high school. I learned them in college. It was something that I had forgotten the end of my college career, and I ended up having to refresh my memory on how to do a closing entry when I went out into the real public accounting sector and started working. For those of you that aren't going into public accounting and you're only taking accounting because it's a requirement, this is one of those topics where they don't like me to say this, but you won't be using this in the real world because you're not going to be doing accounting. This knowing closing entries is something that accountants should know. So this is one of those topics where I'm going to say to you that study this to get past this exam. And that's pretty much as far as most of you are ever going to take this. So just keep that in the back of your mind when you're taking exams and stuff like that. Income summary account. Now, in those blue boxes is some information about it. And you can see that income summary is a temporary account. It's only used at the end of the year. It gets closed out to zero at the end of the year. So it disappears. And in the next year, we bring it back up. So in that little blue box at the bottom, you'll see it does not appear on any financial statements. Why? Because we're going to close it prior to performing our financial statements. So it's going to be gone before we even do the balance sheet, the income statement, and the statement of retained earnings. Again, it's only used during the closing process, and the balance of the account equals the net income or the net loss, meaning whatever the balance in the income summary account is, it should be the exact same as what our income statement will show. Now, keep in mind, the income statement and income summary are 2 different things. One is a financial statement, and one is an account that is used only during the closing process. Now, when you're doing closing entries, there's only 4 steps to do, okay? And they're listed here under the 4 steps for closing entries. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and close out your revenue account to income summary. Now, this is where it's important to realize your debit and credit balances for these accounts. Your revenue account has a normal credit balance. So to get rid of that balance in your revenue account, you're going to have to debit revenue. So if you're debiting your revenue account, that means you're going to have to credit something in your journal entry. And again, your journal entries have to balance. So the account that you're going to credit in step 1 is going to be income summary. You're going to debit revenue and credit income summary. The second step is to close your expense accounts. Your expense accounts have a normal debit balance, so you're going to go ahead and credit your expense account to close them out, which then means you need a debit, and that debit is going to be the income summary. Okay, so that's step 2. Step 3 is to close your income summary to retained earnings. Now, this step is one that you cannot do unless you've done step 1 and step 2. If you haven't done 1 and 2, you can't do step 3. Once you've done those first 2 steps, then you have to figure out what the balance is in your income summary account. And that means you're either going to debit or credit income summary, and then the opposite to retained earnings. Now, that may sound confusing right now. Just put that in the back of your mind until we go over the example. And then this way, it'll make sense to you. The last step in the closing entries portion is closing out dividends. Now, dividends has a normal debit balance. So if it has a normal debit balance, to get rid of it, we're going to have to credit dividends. Now, once we credit dividends, we need to debit something. In this case, we're going to go straight to retained earnings. So we're going to debit retained earnings and we're going to credit dividends. Okay. Now, if you just take a look at slide 36, and I'm going to put up a couple examples on this to go ahead and do this for you. If you take a look at slide 36, here's an example. It gives you balances and things like that. I'm going to have you go ahead and just read this question. And then slide 37 has the answers to that question. And you could see the steps. Step 1 is the revenue. Step 2 is your expenses. Step 3 is closing your income summary. And step 4 is your retained earnings closing. Now, the key that I want you to follow is see how they came up with, on slide 37, how did they come up with the $41,000 debit to income summary? And the way that I want you to go about doing that is I want you to set up a T account just on a scrap sheet of paper. And you're going to credit income summary for the $380,450, which you see on July 31st. And then you're going to debit for the $339,450, which is the debit on July 31st. So you'll have a debit and a credit. That means that right there, that's telling you that you have a abundance, or you have more on the credit side than you do on the debit side. Hence the reason why we have to debit income summary for $41,000. Okay. Excuse me. So just follow that question through. I'm going to reference this question in the next video also, because you're going to have 3 or 4 problems of closing entries to do as a homework assignment here coming up today. So follow through on that one. If you also take a look at slide 38, typically when an accountant does closing entries, we go from an adjusted trial balance. And slide 38 gives you an adjusted trial balance here. And it shows you, okay, you start. Now keep this in mind, and I want to say this to you. When you're closing entries, you're closing dividends, revenue, and expenses. So when you're looking at an adjusted trial balance like you are in slide 38, you're going to go from the word dividends down. Those are the accounts that you're going to be working with. So the first one, you'll see dividends 1,000, fees earned 12,600, supplies, wages, depreciation, and insurance. Those are the accounts that we'd be working with when we're doing a adjusted trial balance. Now, the other question that I get a lot from students when we're doing adjusting trial balance, closing entries, is do I have to list out all the expenses, or can I just add them all up and put just one group number there? Yes, you have to list the expenses individually. Now, what you see on slide 39 is a closing entry for the trial balance on slide 38. So I want you to go ahead and read through that and follow through. Once you've done your closing entries, look at slide 41. That's what we call a post-closing trial balance. Now, the other thing I want to tell you guys is don't worry about all these trial balances, adjusted and post and pre and post and whatever. Just understand that there's steps that we have to take to get to our financial statements. The other key that I want you to remember is 95% of you will never do this. And even if you are an accounting major, you really won't be doing most of this because most of this is going to be done on the computer for you. You're going to click a mouse button and it's going to do this for you. So don't get crazy and don't drive yourself crazy when you're looking at these things. Just understand there's steps and we're required to teach these background steps to you. But it's a lot easier in the real world because we're point and clicking things. And we've been pointing and clicking things for decades now. So unfortunately, the teaching of accounting has to be done the old way. But in the real world, a lot of this is now done on QuickBooks, Peachtree, and other software that's out there, and some software that you guys will learn. So just go through the last 4 or 5 slides here in chapter 3 and just take your calculator out and follow the numbers and see where they're coming from. Okay, the next video I'm going to post is going to be me going over a problem of closing entries. There's going to be 2 other problems on there for you to go ahead and complete. So you'll get some practice on doing these.